Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite 12-core CPU is faster than Intel 12700K and AMD 7845HX 12-core chips in single-core, comparable in multi-core tests at just 28W. More Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite 12-core CPU benchmarks have been revealed which deliver strong performance at just 28W TDP. Qualcomm 12-core Snapdragon X Elite CPU shows strong efficiency versus Intel 12700K desktop and AMD 7845HX laptop CPUs at just 28W. Yesterday, Qualcomm shared some performance benchmarks of its two reference laptops based on the new Snapdragon X Elite CPUs, which feature the Oryon core architecture. The laptops came in 28W and 80W configurations, and now there's a new entry of the X1E80100 CPU in its 28W config, which shows some strong efficiency figures. This is the 28W configuration since it features a 3.40 GHz all-core frequency, while the 80W configuration offers a 3.80 GHz all-core frequency. The test platform features 64 GB of LPDDR5X 8533 memory. Coming to the performance benchmarks, the Snapdragon X Elite X1E80100 scored 2,741 points in single-core, and 13021 points in multi-core tests in Geekbench 6. For comparison, we used the Intel Core i7-12700K 12-core desktop, and AMD Ryzen 9 7845HX 12-core laptop CPU. Both of these are configured with much higher TDPs, with the Intel chip featuring a maximum turbo power of 190W and the AMD chip featuring a peak power of 110W. The results show that the Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite 12-core CPU was faster than both AMD and Intel chips in single-core performance, despite the latter two running at much higher clock speeds of 5.2 and 5.0 GHz respectively. The Snapdragon chip can only maintain a maximum clock speed of 4 GHz across one or two cores. All benchmarks were conducted on the same Windows platform and didn't use Linux platforms, although you can find Linux tests shared by BenchLeaks here. When comparing the multi-core performance, the Intel Core i7-12700K desktop CPU ends up 4% faster, while the AMD Ryzen 9 7845HX CPU ends up 5% faster. This is a very impressive multi-thread performance from the Oryon CPU architecture at just 28W, and the 80W chip can easily outperform the two competitors. The following charts compare the Snapdragon Qualcomm X Elite 28W CPU vs other chips. If these numbers do end up being the case in actual use cases and applications, then Qualcomm definitely has a strong competitor within the PC space which can easily rival the likes of Intel, AMD, and Apple. The Qualcomm Snapdragon X Elite CPUs launch around mid-2024, so stay tuned for more information in the following months.